When Ethan received the letter from his late grandfather's lawyer, he never expected his life to take such a sharp turn. The inheritance papers were simple: a log cabin nestled deep in the forest, surrounded by mist and silence. The kind of place where secrets seemed to hide within the wood itself. He wasn't particularly thrilled. Ethan lived his whole life in the city, his hands more familiar with keyboards than tools, and the thought of chopping firewood or cooking on a wood stove seemed laughably out of reach. But curiosity and a restless heart pushed him to pack a bag and make the long trip into the mountains. The cabin was larger than he thought, a sturdy piece of craftsmanship with thick beams and an aura of age. But what shocked him more wasn't the cabin itself, it was who he found waiting inside. Sitting around the fireplace, as though they had been expecting him all along, were 5 women. Not ordinary women. Each one seemed to radiate beauty in a different way, so much so that Ethan's breath caught in his throat. One had raven black hair flowing down her back, eyes sharp and daring, a presence that whispered danger. Another was soft and elegant, with golden hair and a smile that could melt stone. The third carried herself with fiery energy, her every move filled with spark and challenge. The fourth was quiet, mysterious, her gaze deep as if she could see through his very soul. And the fifth, the youngest in appearance, radiated playfulness and innocence, though her knowing grin told Ethan she was no stranger to mischief. They looked at him as if he had stepped into their world, not the other way around. "Finally you've come," said the dark-haired one, her voice steady and commanding. Ethan stammered, unsure of what to say. But before he could form words, the golden-haired woman leaned forward with a gentle smile. "This cabin is more than just walls and wood, Ethan. Your grandfather left it to you because he knew you'd eventually come here. But it isn't only the cabin you've inherited. It's us." His heart thudded in confusion. Us? What did that mean? The fiery woman laughed, a sound both thrilling and terrifying. "Don't look so scared. We don't bite, unless you ask." The others chuckled softly, watching Ethan's every reaction. He felt his chest tighten with both nerves and intrigue. They explained slowly that each of them had been bound to this cabin for reasons tied to his family's past. Each woman carried her own story, her own pain, and his grandfather had been their protector, their anchor. Now that he was gone, they were left waiting for the rightful heir. Him. Ethan wanted to leave, to run back to the city and pretend this never happened. But something in their eyes, something unspoken, held him rooted to the floor. It wasn't just a lure, it was a challenge. They wanted to know if he was strong enough, brave enough, to handle what was now his responsibility. "You can handle all 5 of us?" The first night was restless. Ethan lay awake in one of the upstairs rooms, listening to the faint creaks of the old cabin and the soft laughter echoing from downstairs. He couldn't shake their question. "Can you handle all 5 of us?" It replayed in his mind, teasing him, daring him, and making him wonder if he was already in over his head. Morning came with golden light seeping through the curtains. Ethan descended the staircase to find the women already awake, each one engaged in something that seemed to reflect her nature. The golden-haired woman was quietly preparing breakfast, her movements graceful, her touch soft as she set the table. The fiery one was outside chopping wood, her strength evident in every swing. The quiet, mysterious one sat by the window, scribbling symbols into a worn journal, while the playful one darted around, teasing the others, tugging at their sleeves, stealing pieces of bread, giggling freely. The raven-haired leader stood by the door, watching Ethan descend. "You're awake," she said simply, though her eyes searched him with intensity. "Good. We'll need to know what you're made of." Over breakfast, the truth unraveled further. The women weren't bound here by accident. They were guardians, protectors of something Ethan's family had kept hidden for generations. The cabin was built on ground that wasn't just forest land, but a threshold, a boundary between the world Ethan knew and another realm brimming with dangers. His grandfather had kept balance, and when he died, the duty was supposed to pass on to Ethan. The women's role was to test him, guide him, and, if necessary, protect him from what might come. "You might think this is about us," the mysterious one said softly, finally lifting her gaze from her journal. "But it's not. This is about you becoming the man who can hold this place together. Without you, all of this crumbles." Ethan felt overwhelmed, yet something inside him began to stir. Maybe it was the part of him that had always felt misplaced in the city, the part searching for a deeper purpose. The fiery woman slammed down her mug and grinned. "Then let's see what he's got. No sense wasting time. If he's weak, we'll know soon enough." The others exchanged glances, and the raven-haired leader nodded. That day became Ethan's first trial. They didn't ease him into it. They threw him head first. He was forced to help with everything, chopping wood until his arms ached, learning strange protective markings, enduring endless teasing from the playful one, and trying not to collapse under the silent judgment of the leader's gaze. Every task seemed ordinary on the surface, but each one carried weight, testing not just his strength but his patience, focus, and resilience. By nightfall, Ethan was exhausted, but something had shifted. He wasn't just a guest anymore. He was part of something bigger, something that demanded his full presence. That evening, as he sat before the fire with the 5 women surrounding him,